Well, good morning, everybody. It's Uncle John from Uncle John's Farms here in Center Point, Indiana. And we haven't done a video in a really long time. Last week, we were in a winter wonderland. Yeah, we had a lot of snow last week. I'm sure a lot of you did too. But very grateful that we weren't like the people down there in Texas. My heart does go out to them, and they went through a lot. I'm glad we didn't have to. Hey, really, we want to mention real quickly that as of 3 o'clock this morning, we have been approved to take the SNAP EBT cards, so you can now use your food stamps to order produce and chicken from Uncle John's Farms, and we'll be doing a video about that. But today, since I'd like to think we're coming out of winter, I decided I'd take you around as we do some morning chores, plus we'll be also checking out some fence. I want to show you some of the electric fence and how it made it through the winter. Okay, so as we leave the deck this morning, and it's actually pretty nice out this morning. The sun's up. We got about 50 degrees. When we come out here to our first pen, I guess you'd say, where Dee Dee's at. Good morning, Miss Dee Dee. Good morning. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. All right, next up, as we leave Dee Dee's pen, we go over here to the chickens. The chickens had to spend the entire week inside last week because of the temperatures and everything. They were not happy campers. And then trying to get them reacclimated to be outside. There's some fruit trees over there that we're going to be trimming up today. I'll try to get some of that on video too. There's the chickies enjoying their breakfast this morning. Now, I did want to show you the electric fence is on. If you notice as you kind of look, let's go over here. Because as the snow melts, we're getting a lot more moisture in the ground. And that's causing some issues with the electric fence. You can see the post, because of the mud, is starting to sink down. So we'll be fixing that today. We'll probably have to come through and just reposition this fence. And if you notice, I don't know if the microphone will pick this up. See this little stick? Some of these leaves are on that. And see how this is laying down? Now, if a person is real good, you can touch this without getting shocked. This may be fun. What I'm going to do is just stretch it out, and I'm trying not to shock myself because I don't want to bleep out a bad word. And you see that pop and quit. We'll try to do it without shutting the fence off down here. I'm not sure I can get this job done. But if your charger's still on, the horizontal ones are the ones that's going to shock you. The up and down parts won't. So if you kind of grab it between those, now if I get shocked, I'm just going to forewarn you, there are probably going to be some words that the children should not hear, because it bites pretty hard. There we go. I'm getting better at it. Come here. It's all right. The other two are really hungry today. She's just waiting for me to leave so that she can knock them out of theirs. Now she's got her own bowl, but it's much better to eat out of somebody else's. So as we continue our walk around today, Uncle John's needing a little bit of activity, a little bit of exercise. So today we're walking to the barn to take care of the cow. We got one cow left. She's actually been bred, so I've been kind of keeping an eye on her. I don't know when she's actually due, but I do know she's expecting. Now, one of the only reasons why I'm still feeding her grain, because we do have some good quality hay, is because she is expecting. And I always like to make sure that new mamas, whether they be goats or cows, that they do have some extra protein. Come here. Can you let us look at you for a minute? She's not the friendliest, but you can kind of see that she's starting to get pretty big there. Want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. Okay, so while we're up here at the big barn, our 560 had a couple little issues on it. Our good friend Mike Bridgewater was over yesterday evening, and he's going to work on it. We got a gas line that you can't see it right now, but is leaking a little bit, and so he's going to be replacing that. We're also going to be cleaning it up and replacing the hydraulic fluid. The hydraulic filter for this tractor is actually right there. It's pretty easy to get to. Also, while Mike was kind of looking things over to get us ready for spring and summer, we did notice we've got a bad tie rod. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and order 2 new tie rods for it and just replace both of them at the same time. So Mike will be doing that as well. One of the worst things that happened during that cold stretch was this little tractor. And I'm not really sure why, but its hydraulics that run this front end loader actually froze up. We end up tarping it, putting a heater down here to heat the belly of the tractor up, and until it started warming up temperature wise, it did not work. So we weren't able to plow out driveways. So we're going to go ahead and redo the hydraulics on this tractor. We're also going to fix it so that we can put warmers in the hydraulic pump area where the hydraulic oil is, as well as a warmer that'll go and keep the engine warm as well. But anyway, Mike's going to come over and he's going to go through the hydraulics and make sure that we're back up and ready to go for this coming spring and summer. So as we continue our walk around today, I wanted to show a couple other things. First up, when it was so cold, we still had to get water in here to the cow. And that got a problem because the hose was froze. So what I did was, after I got thawed out, I rigged this up. The hose can actually hang from the top of the barn, and then it goes out to each fence post at about a 45-degree angle so that we could keep the water out of the hose every day. And we'll probably keep doing this until we're pretty much out of winter. As I continue to walk around, here again we got another one of these fence posts that is leaning. And this is just due to the thawing, freezing. Ouch! And that was Uncle John getting shocked. We probably ought to just go ahead and turn this off. At least I didn't say any bad words. But we do know that the electric fence is working, don't we? That was quite a little jolt. There we go. Well, at least you didn't hear any bad words from Uncle John today. Well, I'm out here at our little orchard. Today we're going to be doing some trimming of these trees, and we're going to try to get some of these pears cut down so they're not quite so high. We used to have 2 of these plum trees. We've got one left. We just really have not had much luck with the plum trees. I don't know whether you can see here, but let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. The plum trees, for some reason, they get diseased and they just do not do well here. So as I'm trimming up the pear trees, I'm going to take this little plum tree out. As you can see, this pear, we're going to top it out a little bit and kind of start getting it managed. None of these trees have been trimmed since they were put in, but I'm going to take this tree, plum tree, out, let the two pears on either side kind of come together. Now we do have more apple trees and all other kind of fruit. As you can see, I've got one little peach tree and a couple little cherry bushes up there. I'll probably go ahead and clip the top of that peach tree just so we can start managing it. We'll be planting a lot more fruit trees coming up this year. But they need to get trimmed up, and we need to take this plum out completely. Because the plum is diseased, I won't be mulching its wood up to put underneath the other fruit trees. We'll actually be taking this out and probably burning it since it is diseased. Okay, so I didn't bore you with all my cutting, but I wanted to take you around and show you some of the things we did. There's that first tree. As you can see, we topped it off. What we're trying to do is get more light into the center of the tree, more airflow through the tree. Same way with that one. Now later on, I'll come and cut these outer branches back. That'll probably be after we have fruit this summer, and that'll be for the fall pruning. When we get ready to fall prune it, we'll take it back down some more. But again, we just had to get rid of some of these lower branches. We also had to get rid of some of that in the middle because it was just shading out way too much. And then the last tree, as you can see, we got plenty of wood that I'll be mulching up later today and tomorrow. All this that we mulch up will go right back underneath the trees to feed the trees. And then here's our last tree that we trimmed up. Not a lot of trimming on that one. We just needed to kind of top it. Again, we topped them so that I could manage it a little bit better. I'm getting older and I don't like to be on ladders too much. So we kind of topped them. We'll probably have less fruit this year, but it'll cause us to have more fruit 2, 3, 4 years out. Again, these were never pruned since they were planted, so this is the first time pruning, so they look a little like, oh no, we've totally destroyed these trees, but we haven't. They'll come back. It's February. We haven't hit the fall. The sap's still not running up the trees just yet, and this summer I'll do some shots out here and show you how they've recovered. But this is to help manage them a little better. Again, we're going to have a lot more fruit trees that'll be planted out here. It's going to be kind of a mini orchard. So I just wanted to let you know we didn't kill the trees, but we did prune them and we lowered their height just to make them more manageable. Hey everybody, hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with Uncle John today. It was kind of a really, really nice day. This afternoon we're supposed to hit 60 degrees, but just wanted to take you a little bit, so we haven't done many of these videos during the winter time because it's just been cold and nasty. So I just kind of wanted to get out, get back into the habit of doing some videos. Again, wanted to teach you a little bit about the electric fence, a little bit about pruning trees, Don't forget, we can now take EBT food stamp cards, so you can order chicken and all that good stuff at UncleJohnsFarms.com. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. I really appreciate you.